182. Can you run a name?
Yeah, I have a possible.
Yeah, it's no different than carrying around a reverse Uno card and being like, excuse me, you have no authority to arrest me, sir, because this is a reverse Uno card. And then the cop arrests himself. He's like, no, I am destroyed. No, I have to arrest myself now.
Trump's rally. And Brooke, this was a strange one.
Yeah, it was. Good morning, Carly. So Vem Miller of Las Vegas was arrested on charges, but quickly released on a $5,000 bail. So he was stopped by local authorities.
This is really funny because he was like, I love that. The New York Times mentioned it this morning, and they were like, when asked about why he got apprehended, he was shocked because he was like, I'm a Trump supporter. Yeah, they arrested a sovereign citizen who was trying to attend a Trump rally as a Trump supporter. And they were like, well, obviously it doesn't check out because he had like one of those sovereign citizen license plates and a entire arsenal in his vehicle. So they immediately assumed he was going to, try. And Donald Trump was like, nah, he's just a regular old Nevada, crossing the border into California to go watch the Trump rally. Which is funny because this is kind of what I mentioned with Ryan Ruth as the Ryan Ruth defense, because I thought America was a free country, I thought there was a time when you didn't have to see 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. Guess what? You still do, okay? But you can subscribe for $6 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Here's a 3-minute ad break now.
Security checkpoint outside of former President Trump's rally in Coachella, California. Police say he was driving an unregistered black SUV with a homemade license plate, and he claimed to be a journalist that had VIP access. But when deputies searched his car, they eventually found a loaded and ammunition. They also found multiple passports and driver's licenses with several different names. So far, no federal charges have been filed, but the U.S. Attorney's Office said Trump was never in any danger, and they are investigating. And the local sheriff's office is not taking this incident lightly.
Before former President Trump arrived to the rally, we made contact with an individual on the inner perimeter of our operation at the rally. In regard to previous attempts on the former president's life, this was not something that we were taking lightly. We had a very detailed plan in place on how we were going to keep not only the former president safe, but all of the participants or the attendees of the rally safe.
In an interview with Fox News Digital after he was released, Miller denied any intent to harm President Trump. He said, quote, I am the last person that would cause any and harm to anybody. I am 100% a Trump supporter. This is a man that I deeply admire because I was a closet individual in terms of my beliefs because I worked in Hollywood. A source close to the Trump campaign also tells Fox they do not believe this was an attempt. The suspect is expected to appear in court on January 2nd. Wow. Carly?
Okay, Brooke Singman live for us. Brooke, thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe.
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. Not good. Okay? If they start arresting all of these, brave, patriotic Trump supporters, you're taking away votes from Donald Trump. Okay? You got to dial it back. You can't do it. You can't do it. You're hurting him. You're hurting Trump's chances of winning. So the guy that they arrested near Trump's Coachella rally with firearms has some interesting friends. He's in the back seat. Some of you guys might recognize the guy in the passenger seat.
At that time on January 6th, I already did the math. 43 states had at least one Republican in them. Oh, wow. So if only the Republicans voted, it would have been a 43-0 vote, still meeting the 34-state representation threshold for a quorum. Thought through this. I conveyed this to Kevin McCarthy. I conveyed this to Mike Pence's Chief of Staff, Mark Short. So then it would have been up to Mike Pence to decide, do I go with the Pelosi one-person, one-vote option, or which would have allowed the Biden electors, or do I go with the Kevin McCarthy?
This is the guy, by the way, in the back seat. That's the guy that they arrested.
Vote, and if everyone votes by party, then guess what? Arizona's electors don't get counted. Multiply that by the rest of the contested states. Mm-hmm. That means no one secures 270 electoral votes. And then it goes to an overall contingent election where they again vote by state delegation. And then guess who wins? Trump it secures the re-election. Yeah. When Nancy Pelosi catches wind of this plan being in
and
motion.
this was your plan, so you had
Yes.
it already. January 6th is coming up.
Yes,
and this is
I
what's
communicated it not only directly to McCarthy. Again, the decision makers that need to put this in motion.
Dude, what the January 6th is openly admitting that they were in direct contact with members of Congress, Republican members of Congress,
well as
in
some
broad
other members of
daylight.
Congress.
So anyway, I'm curious.
But in addition to that, I also publicly said it on different podcasts, and when I'm being retweeted by Trump on several occasions,
They heard, yeah.
of course they heard this.
Do you think Kevin
Of course
McCarthy
they
actually
Guys, this is being live streamed on Rumble at the time.
went to her? Because I know, like, we have a lot of questions about Kevin McCarthy. Do you think Kevin McCarthy went to
Why is it being recorded? Because they're shameless, dude. What do you mean? They don't think they did anything wrong. Hello? Why would he? He's just said he got retweeted by Donald
New
Trump.
CBS News polling shows that the presidential race is.
Did you see his response?
And probably the reason that God put me in that situation in order to be able to expose.
Van Miller, the man accused of a so-called third Trump attempt, denies these reports and pushes back in a statement released online. Miller states he is a Trump supporter who was invited to be at the Coachella rally. He adds that he told officers he had loaded firearms in his trunk. Furthermore, he's threatening lawsuits over defamatory statements and alleged police infringement of his rights.
Is really what's going on. And so every time I've gone to a Nevada rally and notified the police, it's been a non-issue. They've thanked me for the courtesy of notifying them. They've said, obviously, you can't take your firearms. I wouldn't even think of doing such a stupid thing.
Why did you bring them with you into California to begin with?
And they've been fine. They've been fine. And the critical mistake I made is, I guess, forgetting the location that I was in California. So I drive up with my special entry pass. And by the way, they're saying I had a counterfeit pass. That's a bunch of nonsense. I could prove that I had a special entry pass directed to me, sent directly to me by officials within the Republican Party of Nevada. I was an actual invitee to that event. So as I'm driving, there's an area where you enter the parking lot.
God, I love sovereign citizens so goddamn much, dude. Undefeated, dude. They are the best. Why does bro sound like he's holding back tears? What do you mean? His goat got him arrested, dog. What the f do you mean?
After you pass.
Why did he forget to bring his license plate instead of a hand-drawn license plate? Dude, every single like weird oddity about this story, can go either way. Obviously, when you first hear all of the details, you're like, what? He has like multiple passports and like fake identification, a fake hand-drawn license plate. Like, what the f is going on here? If you are completely oblivious to the way that an average Nevada libertarian operates, you are thinking to yourself, like, this is a operation. Like, this got to be like someone paid by Iran or something. Like, and then you find out that he's a sovereign citizen. And then you understand exactly what's going on. Okay. Have you guys ever watched that video of a cop pulling up on a sovereign citizen in, I forget one of those places, but I think it's like a cop that pulls up on a trail and the guy doesn't have a license plate. And he's like, you can't park here without a license plate. And he's like, I was traveling. Sir, I was traveling. And then they're like, what's your name? And he's like, well, my God-given name is like Bible Jesus or something. I need to find the video. It's incredible. You know what I'm talking about? Like he just says like his Bible name or something. It's like a part of some Christian militia. And he's also a sovereign citizen. Is it from the SovCid video you reacted on stream? No, this isn't it either. But I mean, this is a good understanding of what it looks like.
Did Dorsey flag on Sheriff's Office see your license, registration, and insurance?
Well, why am I being pulled over?
Your tag's expired.
Okay. Can you just write me a ticket?
And your license, registration, and insurance, sir.
I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
Hold on.
So, he's sovereign citizen, not real, like, combative or anything, just passive aggressive kind of deal.
Do you guys have your ID?
Oh, this is the one, Game Wardens, Kingdom of Heaven. This is the one I was looking for. Here.
I'm not a citizen of the United States.
Were you a citizen of
Heaven.
Of heaven?
Yeah.
I need to see some kind of ID.
That's my ID.
How about the registration for the car?
I don't register my car with any secular authority.
Is this your spouse or friend or?
I don't register my car with any secular authority.
My friend.
Your friend, okay. What's your name on here? Trent?
Minister Trent Goodbody.
Okay. Give a middle.
That's Minister Trent Goodbody.
Minister Trent Goodbody, sir.
I don't see a date of birth on here. Is there a date of birth?
No, the date that would matter would be my date of baptism.
You reside at Kingdom of Heaven? Is that right?
Yeah. That's the jurisdiction I reside in. And that's where I claim my citizenship as well.
So if I was to issue you a ticket for parking here illegally, where would I be sending that to?
The Kingdom of Heaven.
I need to have your date of birth. You are in. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back with you, okay?
All right.
You're not free to leave, though. Okay?
I'll stay here.
Yeah, I'm going to have to call some people. Hey, Nancy, it's my life.
Sovereign citizen mindset is exactly what took place when they tried to have Mike Pence stop the certification on January 6th. Exactly. They are the most annoying, like, rule-abiding rule breakers of all time that think in their minds that if they say, like, a secret code word to a cop, that they will automatically be let go. Where they think like, oh, excuse me, sir, I was simply traveling and not driving. I do not need a secular authority address driver's license, nor do I need a license plate for my vehicular in motion of travel. It's like, that's not how this works, man. Like, you can't just magically say this isn't maritime admiralty court and therefore you can do whatever the f you want.
182. Can you run a name?
Yeah, I have a possible.
Yeah, it's no different than carrying around a reverse Uno card and being like, excuse me, you have no authority to arrest me, sir, because this is a reverse Uno card. And then the cop arrests himself. He's like, no, I am destroyed. No, I have to arrest myself now.
Full alias of Trent Goodbody. Address is his Kingdom of Heaven. Asked for his date of birth, and he just wants to give me his baptism date. He doesn't have any plates. Okay, if you find anything, if you let me know. All right, thanks. She can't find anything on him. Let me tell you right now, what's going to happen is if you fail to identify yourself, you will be going to jail.
I've given you my identification.
You don't have any date of birth on here? You won't tell me your middle name? You're not under arrest at this time. If you continue to not give me your name and your date of birth, then you will be under arrest. Okay?
Where does it say I have to identify myself?
In the state law.
I don't follow state law. This is my authority right here.
Okay.
Hey, he says source the Bible. Excuse me, my favorite liberal commentator also sourced the Bible when talking about why Israel has to exist, has a right to defend itself. So this is no different, you know? Source the Bible.
My sergeant's going to come here. You can talk to him at that point.
To talk to a supervisor.
I don't want to have to take this guy in. He just tells me his name, date of birth, be on my way. In most circumstances like this, I just turn around, give him a warning, say, hey, you just can't park right here.
I'm Sergeant Fulton. So what's going on today?
Well,
wait, I want to see the second version. Hold on.
You guys have
part 2? I got to see part 2. What happens to this guy? Does anyone have part 2 for this? Sovereign citizen final boss. Someone said this Amazon delivered to the Kingdom of Heaven. Anyway, once you recognize what sovereign citizens are, you develop a better understanding of what this guy was about.
I pull up to the sheriff. I say, you know, well, I should take that back. I'm not 100% sure he was a sheriff. He was wearing a sheriff vest, but a lot of those individuals were, and my assumption is that not everybody there was a sheriff. They were just trying to indicate that they worked with the sheriff's department. And so I drive up to this sheriff, and I tell him that, you know, in full transparency, I just want to let you know, in the back of my truck, I got, you know, 2 lawful firearms.
Oh, wait, hold on.
This earth. And he didn't make any no parking signs. Everything I do for God.
True, King.
So I will go with you wherever you want to take me. But, you know, it would be a real damage to these dogs. I've had them for 10 years, and they can't live without me.
All we're asking at this point, and all he's been asking is to identify yourself.
I can't give you a state identification because my authority is God, not the state.
So
dude, he looks so scary. He looks so scary, dude.
You're still refusing to identify.
He looks like a Resident Evil 7 villain.
No, I'm not refusing. I have identified myself. I gave him my ID.
So we need a name and date of birth for
I
you.
don't have that.
Okay. You leave us with no choice.
I have not caused any harm to anyone or done any property damage. What have I done wrong? You guys are a corporation. You're trying to make money off of me.
Actually, no.
What would God do? You know, I forgive you guys for anything you're about to do. I live for the Lord.
All right. And that's good. That's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Go ahead and step on out of the car. Face the vehicle.
Holy moly!
So you're under arrest at this time, okay, Trent?
He's actually significantly gentler than I thought he was going to be, by the way. Usually these sovereign citizen types are insanely annoying. Like, he doesn't even suit the bill, really, of a sovereign citizen that much.
All right, come back here
This
to the car.
this is private property.
Okay. Come back here to this car.
You good?
Yeah. Turn around. Face my tailgate.
Why are you guys doing this to me? I don't know what you expect me to provide. There's no law saying I have to get state ID, is there? If I gave you a birth date under duress, would you let me be on my way?
A little bit too late for that.
Of course. I would never do this to you.
Yeah, they had to hit him with a double cuff.
Man to
That's
man,
a
I would
big
never
boy.
do this to you. Can you tell me what might happen to my dogs?
Your dogs are probably going to stay with the female.
You know when I might be able to get released?
That's up to the judge. I gave you several chances to tell me
I
your date of
cannot
birth.
identify myself to an authority other than God. Parked in God's parking spot. You guys came along and thought it was yours, but well, you know what? There was another jurisdiction here before you guys came along. God made this planet. How do you think you own this place? How could you persecute me like this? Who are the ones that crucified Christ? Those were the government. You're the one that's going to be held liable and accountable.
Okay.
And not just by a court, because God does not operate in court.
I'm not going to sit here and argue with you.
Okay, well that's fine. I am just doing my due diligence to warn you and
You
notice
can explain
you.
it to the judge.
For the record, if he was black, they would have. So, you know.
Arms purchased lawfully, registered lawfully, and I'm just letting you know that that's back there as a courtesy.